yeah, they have this line from Barriss that's, ooh, foreshadowing, she's the one who's guilty, and she's like, nothing's ever gonna change, so I have to change it by killing people!
Yeah, that makes
Because the Jedi are killing people, and I need to stop that!
By
killing people. But then, again, she's pulling attention away from what Ahsoka just did and putting it on the Jedi, putting it on the Republic. It's clear nothing's going to change. What does that have to do with her being super vengeful and angry about the fact that they're going to punish Letta, but not the way she wants them to?
So this is the episode where Ahsoka is stupid and runs away. The thing is, the title is The Jedi Who Knew Too Much.
She doesn't know anything!
Exactly! The title doesn't even make sense.
Courage begins by trusting oneself.
Courage begins by
trusting. It was courageous for her to trust herself by running away to solve the mystery herself, which she didn't.
The lengths the writers go to just prop her up.
A moment of silence, I ask.
1, 2, 3.
You were close to one of them?
3 seconds. Wow. Doing great there, Ahsoka. 3 whole seconds of taking the time to remember these Jedi who unfortunately passed in a terrorist bombing. 3 seconds. Totally tell how respectful she is in this moment.
Yeah. And then again, the writers prop her up again because Barriss responds as if there's nothing wrong with what Ahsoka's doing.
It's like, you couldn't wait until like...
Yeah, just have a fade out.
Later.
Actually, that would have worked better. Have a fade out because the very next scene is they're all walking together and they start talking about Letta. What you could have is, you fade out and Barriss and Ahsoka are talking together and Tarkin and Anakin are talking together and then Tarkin brings up Letta and then Ahsoka's like, wait, Barriss, what are you guys saying? I'd rather they zoomed in on these two girls, showed them being silent, grieving, sad, human emotions. Words, okay? I don't do words, but zoom in on them and then the background changes around them and it just kind of superimposes, right? And then you still have the context. It's a smooth transition, so you still have the context so that when she says you were close to one of them, she asks that, she's talking about the Jedi that they were just looking at.
The other thing is, the writers are trying to sell Ahsoka as she's trying to console Barriss right now, but
comforting.
Wouldn't it be more comforting to let Barriss have that moment of silence to grieve her loss?
And that's taking it from Ahsoka's position where she thinks Barriss is legitimately grieving because Barriss is kind of ooh, Jedi bad, they all deserve to die. But Ahsoka doesn't know that, so she should be treating this moment with respect and Barriss with sensitivity.
Tutsomara, we trained together.
She's sad, and it's kind of a necessary loss or collateral damage because of, the horrors of the Jedi, or if she's he wasn't supposed to be there.
This is why Barriss should have been given more time in the show, so that the audience can actually understand where she's at. Mm-hmm. Because literally all she is at this point is a scapegoat for Ahsoka. We've said it many times, Ahsoka just drags down the other characters. And this is a prime example.
So what happens to Letta now?
It also
speaks volumes that she's the one who brings up Letta.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, that she brings up Letta. And it's kind of okay, so they're dead, moving on. What about this lady? Is she gonna get her just desserts?
Her mentality right now is revenge, 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 revenge. Mm-hmm. Anakin literally has to tell her in this moment, revenge is not the Jedi way.
But the way I suggested it, you see that, she's still thinking about the Jedi they lost, and she's trying to comfort her friend, and, stuff like that. And then she gets distracted by the conversation, rather than being the instigator of the conversation.
Are we doing a writing analysis episode right now? You're gonna leave nothing for us to rewrite by the time we get around to it.
I really want to do another analysis, but I think it's because I really want to get to this arc in the analysis series.
The bomber has been moved.
Why should she be moved?
Why should she be moved? Why shouldn't she? You have no say in this. Why are you even pretending like you have some sort of stake in this? You caught the perpetrator, or the perpetrator. Done. It's not enough that they caught her. It's that she has to have some sort of punishment. And she has to be a bad enough punishment for what she did. I'm not going to just let her rot in jail. No, that's not good enough.
Wow, such an amazing role model.
This is a Jedi matter, isn't it?
And then yeah, this is a Jedi matter, isn't it?
No.
No, it's not.
Why
And
is
you've
it a
already,
Jedi matter?
like, in the last episode, they had this conversation. Oh, we're gonna have to bring in the Republic. What? Isn't this a Jedi matter? Well, no. There's more to it than that. It's like, why are we rehashing this? If you wanted to have this conversation, choose where you're going to put it. You don't need to have it twice.
Yeah,
this would be the
exactly.
better place to put it. I mean, you shouldn't have it at all because it's stupid. But this would be the better place to put it, rather than in the last episode. But then again, it's like, okay, well, if she was fine with it in the last episode, why is she freaking out here? But she was fine with it in the last episode anyway. She questions it, they say, well, this is that, and she's like, okay.
It's not for us to be judge and jury over a citizen of the Republic.
If Letta's guilty, she's guilty, and she should be dealt with.
Are you deaf? Or are you too wrapped up in your own crap that once again you are completely railroading over Anakin?
My 4.5, almost 5-year-old loves to do this thing where she stands in front of me because she wants my attention. And here Ahsoka is, I'm going to run in front of you and stop so that you have to pay attention to me because what I'm saying is super important.
Even though he just said it.
And
So,
it's not going to change anything if you yell at Tarkin about how Letta is guilty and needs to be dealt with when he just said Letta's guilty and the Republic is going to deal with her.
she's an idiot.
Revenge is not the Jedi way.
Look at that face.
Oh, but I
It's the
wanna
exact
be
same
vengeful.
thing as what we saw in Jedi Crash. When Ayla tells her off and she's like,
Maybe.
she knows it's wrong and she does it anyway.
She doesn't care.
What was
She's
that
sorry.
line from
She's sorry.
therapy. The best apology is changed behavior. No changed behavior.
And the fact that it's like she's more conflicted about being reprimanded for it than the fact that she did it.
Yeah, sorry she got caught, not sorry that she did it.
Yeah, essentially.
Nothing will ever change.
And then yeah, they have this line from Barriss that's just like, ooh, foreshadowing, she's the one who's guilty, and she's like, nothing's ever gonna change, so I have to change it by killing people!
Yeah, that makes
Because the Jedi are
sense.
killing people, and I need to stop that!
By
Killing people. But then, again, she's pulling attention away from what Ahsoka just did and putting it on the Jedi, putting it on the Republic. It's clear nothing's going to change. What does that have to do with her being super vengeful and angry about the fact that they're going to punish Letta, but not the way she wants them to?
Oh my goodness.
See that?
More of the writers.
Letta's going to be punished by the Republic. I want to be the one to punish her. It's clear, Ahsoka, nothing's going to change. She's basically saying Letta's not going to get properly
Ahsoka
punished.
Left because she didn't get treated like a little princess. And Barriss is saying, nothing's ever gonna change, Ahsoka. They're not gonna treat you like a little princess. The horror! Oh goodness, Ahsoka isn't getting special treatment! Oh!
If they don't punish Letta the way Ahsoka thinks Letta should be punished, then justice is not being served. And Barriss is saying, nothing's going to change, justice will never be served. Things are wrong, they're corrupt in this system.
I cannot believe they're saying this. They are literally saying that because the authorities are not bowing to Ahsoka's whim, that justice is not being served.
It's great, I love this show. Peak Star Wars.
The Chancellor feels very strongly that the Jedi be removed from as many military matters as possible.
I hope Chancellor Palpatine knows what he's doing.
And yeah, this ties back into what she said in the Citadel arc. Oh, it's ridiculous that you think the Jedi shouldn't have been involved in the war.
It's ridiculous that you think that the Jedi shouldn't be involved in the war. I hope Chancellor Palpatine knows what he's doing, removing Jedi from the war. Season 7, I was only ever a soldier. The Jedi Council raised me to just be a soldier, and it's so terrible. How could they do that to me? It's in your face. You guys are supposed to be peacekeepers, not soldiers. You see it several times over the course of the series, but every single time it's in your face, you're just like, what? No. I like action, I like violence. This is what I'm meant to do as a Jedi. Yep, I'm doing the right thing. You guys are wrong. And then, oh man, how could you guys do this to me? I'm just such a violent person, and it's all your fault.
Wait, oh my goodness. Again, we talked about how at the end of Storm over Ryloth, she does not take ownership of her actions. And
season 7 does pretty much the exact same thing.
Look at the clear lack of growth going on there. Zero growth.
In ways she is still very young.
Can I say it? Can I please say it? Okay, 1 season ago, in the Zygerian slaver arc, you had a slaver call her Young Jedi, and she's all like, I'm not so young anymore. They're trying to say, look how much she's grown. Like, he underestimates her because the scene cuts away back to Anakin. And then when it cuts back to her and the slaver, she's already beaten him. Yeah. She's got the lightsaber to his neck. He's surrendered. And it's just like, look how much this girl's grown. She's not so young anymore. And then 1 season later, when they want to excuse her bad behavior, they're like, she's still very young.
Pick one, honey. You can't have it both ways.
I feel conflicted.
Have we seen conflict? No.
We've only seen
in the
one
previous
thing.
scene. She was very firmly revenge. Letta has to pay. She'd better pay.
Oh, but she did have that moment where she went, oh, I got reprimanded. And that equates to, oh, I guess I shouldn't have done that. But she doesn't own up to the fact that she shouldn't have done that. She just looks sad for a moment. And then at the end of this scene, she behaves exactly the same. So obviously the reprimand meant nothing. There's no conflict there. She's just sad because she got reprimanded. Because if she was actually conflicted, she would show that conflict.
Again, it's
not
two-faced because she's pouncing on this opportunity to preach at someone, as she so loves to do. Look at me, I am so righteous. Revenge! I am so righteous.
Barriss actually seems conflicted. Because, yeah, we just saw her in the funeral, and she seems to be genuinely mourning. That's the word I was looking for. Mourning. Mourning. She seemed to be genuinely mourning the loss of her friend. And, yeah, look at her expressions throughout this entire conversation. She's like, what have I done? What am I doing? Is this the right thing, right? Like, and then the rest of the time we see her, she's all like, ha, death to, like, when Anakin finally confronts her, there's, like, no conflict at all. Yeah. And I wish they'd done it better. But like, at least she seems to show some sort of conflict. It goes from like bink to bonk rather than bink bonk bink bonk bink, which is a better way of showing conflict, but like
bink bonk bink bonk bink.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Just like psh, done. That's what the they literally write it out in their script. Like, bink bonk, bink bonk, bink. Okay, here she's gonna be conflicted, here she's gonna be not conflicted. Or she's gonna be conflicted the other way. She's gonna, Yeah. And it's hard to do that without like making it seem like they're flip-flopping. I think you have to do it in the moments where they're like really pressured. When things are like, okay, this is what we're doing, steamroller down the track, words not happening, they're in it. But then in those lulls, or like when like they really have to do something that goes against their personal code, but it's for their cause, then there's this moment of like, oh crap, right? Like, I have to make a decision here, what I'm going to follow. And having them follow their personal code sometimes and follow their cause other times, perhaps, depending on who is there to, like, in Umbrella Academy. In the first season, what's his name? The assassin, Hazel. You learn he let that one woman go. They killed her husband, but then he let the wife go. And if Cha-Cha had been there to witness it, he would have killed her. But because she wasn't there, then he let that conflict on his, personal code side win out. But if there was a peer pressure around from the others in his cause, he would go with the right. Like, that's a good way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever wondered if it was right to ignore your emotions? Our struggle as Jedi is to move past them.
Struggle as a human being to move past your emotions. This is nothing special.
And the thing is, why is Barriss questioning this? Does she think the war has to do with emotions? That's what she's upset about. She's upset about the war. She's like, no, the Jedi shouldn't be involved in the war. We should be peacekeepers. But what she's questioning Ahsoka, do you think it's right to ignore our emotions?
I feel like in this moment she was talking about herself. I always got the impression that she was kind of like trying to win Ahsoka over to her cause in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because
if she can make her question the Jedi in this way, then she can make her question the Jedi in regards to the war.
In the sense that she was referring to herself, like, I feel that the whole terrorist bombing thing was very obviously, she was acting off of emotion when she did those horrible things.
Right.
Because I
guess
feel
I
like this
can
is more
see that.
speculation on part of the fans, because they love to bash Luminara and blame her for what happened to Barriss, but like they speculate that Luminara's training was harsh and Barriss learned to like bury her emotions, and then that's what eventually caused her to snap. And kind of like Anakin, I guess Anakin could be seen as the opposite too, because he was a very emotional guy throughout the prequels. At least he wore his heart on his sleeve. But I don't know what to make of... Yeah, this is why she should have had more time. Like, she should have had her own arcs. Her and Luminara.
In our reaction video to Weapons Factory, we were like, why can't these two be the main characters?
Exactly! They had tons of potential. They are great characters.
It isn't easy. Like when we were stuck inside the battle tank on Geonosis. It was hard not to be afraid.
The disgusting irony of this moment. Barriss has always been the logical one. And Ahsoka's self-righteously preaching to her about how she needs to control her emotions.
Move past.
You gotta move past them. Like me, because I'm so righteous.
And then she cites a moment that we saw no evidence of her having to move past any emotions. Again, it was kind of more Barriss who was actually affected by their situation. Everything just rolls off Ahsoka, and here's, it's not easy what I do. It just happens naturally. It doesn't faze me at all, but it's not easy. Trust me.
And it's
like this moment when nothing affected me.
Aware of her plot armor, so she doesn't give a crap in these supposedly dangerous situations. No stakes for the characters. Looking at the cloak though, it looks so unnatural because like it's so stiff and straight. Like there's no folds or anything.
Well, there are in the hood.
In the hood, but in the actual cape itself is so stiff.
And I guess we'll get past this. You've always been capable of seeing things clearly.
No! This is right after the scene where Ahsoka was going, revenge! And Barriss is like, you see things so clearly! You're like my idol!
And then the fact that Ahsoka's like, and I guess we'll get past this. And then as soon as like something uncomfortable happens, she's freaking out. It's like, okay, so much for trying to get past it. Right? And again, this whole thing is like trying to lead up to like her not acting Jedi-like at all, being super emotional and acting solely on emotion, fear, and...
What was it? The line in the last episode.
Fear can make the most trusting person irrational.
Yeah, and we talked about how it was another way the writers were trying to preemptively excuse Ahsoka's stupidity. Yeah. But then, they're contradicting themselves here where she's like, she sees things so clearly and she's able to move past her emotions and blah, 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 blah. You can't have it both ways.
But then, yeah, she's got this line where it's like, I guess I fooled you like I have everyone else.
I guess I fooled you like I have everyone else.
So they're trying to say, oh, no, that's not the case. She doesn't see things clearly, and, you know, she does have trouble moving past her emotions. Because, again, like, they frame everything she does as the right thing to do. Because it gets the results that are the good, just ending. The true perpetrator is found and the wrongfully accused is acquitted. It's like, okay, well, was it a good thing for her to cave to fear, just not trust anybody? And because they're saying it takes courage to trust oneself. So they're saying it was courageous of her to not trust anyone else, including the person closest to her, Anakin. That was courageous of her.
It'd be a hell of a lot more courageous
to trust Anakin.
Unconditionally place herself in the hands of her friends and say, I know you will clear me. I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna let you take it.
Proteus.
Exactly. Proteus is a perfect example.
And even when his dad is like, okay, I've bribed the guards. Go, go, go. He's like, no, I trust Sinbad. Because, like, when you see him, like, about to be executed, he's not freaking out. He's like, no, I made a decision. I am ready to face death. And, you know, if something happened to Sinbad, or if he just chose to, you know, stay sailing off at, like, right, whatever, then he can live a happy life. I'm happy for my friend. That's courage. That's trust. That's friendship. That's none of what she does here is in any way good, but it's framed as the right thing to do. And it's framed as courageous.
It's disgusting. Add that to one of the many sick morals that they teach in this show.
We're needed in the war room. It appears the Separatists have mounted another attack.
One way or another, this woman's going to pay.
So she's being summoned to a war room. Separatists
like,
are attacking. And she stops to reiterate, this woman's going to pay!
I kind of saw it more as like, oh, my poor grieving friend, I better talk to her. Oh, action! Gotta go! I mean, one way or another, you know, this is gonna get handled. Gotta go! Right, like, on the one hand, I understand. Like, he summoned her, she does have to go right away. But, like, on the other hand, it's kind of like, I've done my duty here. You have been preached at. Toots.
Your presence is requested by prisoner Letta Tumong.
Why is she asking for Ahsoka?
Why is she asking for Ahsoka? Good question.
I love how that, like, never, like, gets investigated. Because Ahsoka runs away, so they think, that's why she was asking for Ahsoka. Well, Ahsoka's given us the answer, let's go bring in Ahsoka. Rather than Ahsoka staying, and they can ask her, hey, why'd she ask for you? And Ahsoka can be like, she was gonna tell me this, and then she died. If you review the tape, I know you don't have any sound, but, like, you can see, I'm not strangling her, oh no, what's going on?
Things literally could have been cleared up so easily if she had stayed.
Easily.
But no, she runs off like an idiot, and we're supposed to believe she's courageous for doing that.
But, like, I was gonna say, you know, oh, there's been another separatist attack, this is really important, come to the war room right now, we've gotta have this meeting, and he can just be like, oh, by the way, the prisoner's asking for her. Can she just, like, leave, go talk to the prisoner? This is obviously super important, though I have no idea why.
This is progressing the plot. Forget about this. Plot! I was gonna say that too.
This has no relevance to the plot.
Exactly. And
So-
why are they catering to the prisoner? Oh, she asked for Ahsoka, we better get her now. Get her right now.
Does not matter.
It does
The prisoner
not matter.
asked for somebody. So they're going to get to talk face to face with that somebody.
We deliver
We
to
can't
terrorist bombers.
Holograph her in later.
No second of delay. This
Boom.
must happen.
Don't even wait
now.
till the briefing is over. Go right now. Right Now.
Wow, that's great treatment for your prisoners. I wouldn't mind being a prisoner. I could ask for anything and they'd, like, give it to me right away. What is it?
It's stupid. That's what it is. It's stupid. We have a completely pointless scene just so that it can be interrupted to progress the plot. Why couldn't she have been talking to Barriss and then get a message saying, hey, the prisoner's asking for you. And it doesn't have to be Tarkin who delivers it because, yeah.
Why would Tarkin deliver the message?
That's a good question.
Unless it would make sense for them to have to run it through him first. So
yeah,
but like for him to be the messenger man, consider his rank. He's not gonna play errand boy.
Yeah, no, that's true. And like, yeah, and if you did it the way I'm suggesting, actually, yeah, when he's getting into the elevator with Anakin, and Anakin is making excuses for Ahsoka, then he could have had, a hologram saying, the prisoner is requesting to speak to...
Exactly.
And then, yeah, maybe Anakin just runs down the hallway after them.
They just waste the audience's time.
They're like, by the way, the war is still going on, but this is more important.
And like, yeah, again, she asked for Ahsoka. She asked for a Padawan.
Yeah, and later, like when Ahsoka gets there and she's like, why did you ask? Oh, I was told that if I was ever in trouble, you were the Jedi to contact.
I was told if I ever needed help, you were the Jedi to contact.
Should have been anyone but Ahsoka. She's a Padawan. She's got no influence. She's also the worst person ever. How on earth does she have a reputation outside of the Jedi Order? And if Barriss, the person who Leto was working with, was like, okay, if you ever have trouble, contact Ahsoka. But now Barriss, she's worried about Barriss killing her. Why would she contact the person that Barriss suggested she contact?
Also, if Barriss was the one who told her to contact Ahsoka, Barriss is confirming that Ahsoka is a terrible person!
Or she was already trying to set up Ahsoka, so she's like, if ever you're in trouble, you contact this person, and thinking to herself, because I'm gonna frame that person, and when you contact them, I'll spring my Like, how does Barriss know the exact right time to suddenly start force choking Letta from who knows how far away? Why didn't Vader do that? Oh, you want this person dead, Master Sidious? Okay. Done. How far away can you force choke people?
Was she hanging out in the vents? Like, serious?
It makes...
And how did she get in with no one noticing?
Yeah.
Here, don't mind me, can you give me a boost up to the vent there? Also, just forget I was ever here.
You didn't see
Well, I guess, yeah, she could technically use a mind trick, but like, how many guards would you have to
You didn't see anything, you didn't see anything, you didn't see anything, you didn't see anything, you didn't see anything. You will let me pass and forget all about this. Hey, what's up? You didn't see me here.
And it's like,
or maybe she'll have the
Barriss
magical empty hallways.
Also, like, maybe Barriss orchestrated Letta's confession, so maybe she told Letta, give it up, I don't know, tell them what you know, and then, yeah, she swoops in and kills
But Letta
Letta.
says, my life's in danger, that's why I'm contacting you, because I was told you could help me. It doesn't make any sense.
0 sense. Complete and utter lack of logic.
What the writers want us to take away from this is Ahsoka's just so wonderful that everyone knows, inside and outside the Jedi Temple, that she's the person to contact if ever you're in trouble, because she will do anything to help you. She has all the influence and power of the Jedi and Republic under her thumb, and she just will benevolently use this power to help those in need. And everybody knows that. Except for the Jedi who, just leave her as a Padawan like she's totally normal. And the Republic who's just like, yeah, you're just a commander like any other commander. This is exactly what Careless Magnus was saying.
Exactly. Yeah, it was just...
She has all of this, but everyone treats her like she's totally normal. That doesn't make any sense, and that's evidence of a Mary Sue.
I'll report back with whatever I find out.
Her tone!
I'll report back with whatever I find out. Like, she literally does the Batman voice all the time. She just goes from, like, everything is normal to, here are the separatists, who are the people I don't like, and this mad person. was like, cool, see ya. There's nothing left for us to discuss.
Alright, scanner.
Yeah, because they're literally showing us huge amount of security. Security. How is Barriss force choking Letta?
Good job capturing her.
What was with Ahsoka's look?
Why would someone who's been through what she's been through be all like, ooh, I'm visiting someone in jail. This place is kind of scary. I've never been in a place like this before. Like a normal teenager would visiting someone in jail. But she's not a normal teenager. They want you to think she's a normal teenager so that normal teenagers will relate to her. So they throw any characterization under the bus.
You don't have much time, Letta. So I suggest you get whatever you have to say off your chest.
You're gonna die soon, so get whatever you want to say off your chest.
If I was Letta, I'd be like, this is the person I was supposed to contact. You know, I think I'll take my chances with someone else, but you can leave now, bye.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Why didn't you reveal this before?
Because my life is in danger. The person behind this will be able to get to me unless you know the truth.
Why didn't you reveal this earlier? Because my life is in danger now! Okay, so why didn't you reveal this earlier? My life is in danger!
She says, the person behind this will get to me unless you know the truth. So why didn't you reveal this earlier? Because the person behind this will get to me unless you know the truth. So why didn't you reveal this earlier?
It doesn't make sense! Ah!
I was literally the person who arrested you. You could have been like, hey, yes, I fed the nano droids to Jakar, but it wasn't my idea.
Again.
And my life is gonna be in danger unless you know the truth.
Again, the series shows a complete lack of forethought. But like, how does she know that her life is in danger?
Because it's like one of those
Wouldn't it
things
make more
that's like-
sense for her to be putting herself in danger by ratting out Barriss?
Well,
But she's
it's
like,
the-
no, my life is in danger, so I must rat out my accomplice.
Well, see, the worry is, right, like as soon as one accomplice is caught, then it's like, well, the other accomplice wants them dead so that they don't crack. Just doesn't make sense why she didn't open up sooner, and why she has to tell Ahsoka. If you want to spill the beans on your accomplice, what does telling a certain person going to accomplish?
And
Unless
it's
you
like,
think
why
everybody...
would she trust a Jedi? She was involved in this movement where they were
Against
making a strike
the
against
Jedi!
Exactly. And she trusts a Jedi?
It would make more sense for her to trust the Republic clones than the Jedi.
Exactly.
But she's like,
What the heck?
I'm not gonna talk in front of those Republic clones. I'm only gonna talk to this Jedi. One of these disgusting Jedi who are corrupt. And they're just warmongers. And they need to be stopped. I will only trust them.
A Jedi showed me how to create the bomb.
now she's not even referring to her husband as her husband or as Jakar. She's literally referring to him as the bomb. And was an expert in nanotechnology. But Barriss had to teach her how to handle, like how to make... How does Barriss know nanotechnology? And why didn't Letta know?
Why would a Jedi do this?
Still doesn't want to believe that a Jedi would be responsible for this.
Jedi have become warmongers. They've become military weapons. And they're killing when they should be keeping the peace.
This is so stupid.
I can only trust a Jedi. The warmongers who have become military weapons and are killing when they should be keeping the peace.
Okay.
I don't understand anything.
It is obvious to me that I have been set up.
What do you mean you've been set up?
You
You fed
are
your husband
guilty.
nanodroids and turned him into a bomb. You are 100% guilty.
Yeah, I think she's trying to say I'm being set up to take the fall for everything. But it's like, okay, but you're like the one who did it. Yeah, this person said, hey, did you know that if you do this, we can make a statement? But you're the one who did it!
Exactly.
You're not being set up for anything. Yes, you have an accomplice, but you're still guilty.
Prisoner death critical. Holding cell 173.
Commander Fox, the prisoner.
It's like when Ahsoka's being interrogated later, she's like, oh, I have no idea what happened. You don't know what a force choke is? Like, you've literally done this to people.
She's
Remember in
witnessed
Lightsaber
Anakin
Lost?
do this to people. She knows exactly what this is.
Yeah, and again, she's done it herself or something very similar, and she's like, I don't know what happened. So like at that point,
the other thing that bothers me is that she's just going, oh no. It's like, okay, if you see someone choking in front of you, if they have something that you can take off, you try to take it off, but like, you don't just go, oh no. She should know what's happening and like try to use the force to combat it because the force is what is doing it. But she just goes, oh no.
She's an idiot. She could have saved Letta's life.
She has the ability to, not the brains.
Yeah, clearly.
I don't know what happened.
Can't say I blame you, Commander Tano.
It's kind of on the clones there for like immediately jumping to assumptions. But at the same time, they understood what was going on.
Yeah, exactly.
They know, they see the clear. Oh, she's force choking her. Gotta go stop her. She finished before we got here. Gotta arrest her. And Ahsoka is going, I don't know what happened. I didn't do this. That's all I know.
Wow. Stupid on stupid.
Clones understand the Force better than a Jedi Padawan.
Wow. Okay. Yep.
Saying I don't know what happened kind of more so sounds like I don't know what happened, I just lost control and like, you know, I totally blacked out. I didn't even know they were dead until I was washing the blood off my hands.
I don't know what happened. I went in the room to talk to Letta and she said she was afraid of a Jedi.
How are you this stupid? I'm afraid a Jedi is going to kill me. She's floating and choking, and I don't. What is happening?
She was afraid of a Jedi, and then
all the clones have to do is take one look at the tape and say, "Yeah, that woman is being force choked," and so he's like, "I don't know what happened."
Twice. She's had time to sit and think about it. Now it was very clear she'd been there for a while. Like, this isn't like he walked in immediately after she was arrested. She has had time, but she's still giving the exact same story. I don't know what happened. She said she was afraid of a Jedi. I cannot put two and two together.
Wow.
I'm definitely not guilty and like trying to, you know, play dumb. I am literally this dumb.
Wow. Someone give her a medal for stupid, I guess.
They have him like holding Letta's hat. Does that seem in character for Tarkin at all?
No. Why would he give a crap?
Exactly, but they have it there so that she can look at it and be like, oh no, Letta's dead. One way or another, this woman is going to pay. You don't have much time. Better say what you want to get off your chest. Oh no, Letta's dead. This is awful. You wanted this. Or did you want her to survive so that, like, her punishment would be torturous? Is that what you wanted? Because rotting in jail wasn't good enough. But death is not what you wanted, so you wanted her to be tortured for life. I don't know what you wanted.
Apparently the writers didn't know what she wanted either. Cause yeah, it would have been totally in character for her to just watch Letta choking to death and be like, ha ha ha, sucker!
Justice has been served. But she's like, oh no, she's dying. Oh, she's dead. This is awful. I'm so sorry about her death. one way or another, this woman's going to pay for what she did.
Curiously, sound isn't working on this one. Seems the Jedi she was afraid of was you.
They have the video, and it doesn't take a body language expert to deduce what is and is not going on here. All it takes is one non-biased person, or even someone biased in Ahsoka's favor, to say, hey, I think you're reading into this. Can we have someone else look at it? Done. I don't know if their justice system is the same, but innocent until proven guilty, and it has to be beyond the shadow of a doubt for a death sentence. Every time we've seen force chokes, they're like this. Their body is tensed. They are using a choke motion with their hand, and you could see it in the earlier one. They cut away before, but there is a moment where she kind of looks toward the door like, somebody help. It's when the clones see it happening, and then it starts to back away as they run out, but you do see she kind of like does this like turn, like, you know, somebody help, she's in trouble. It's very clear.
I don't know if I'd agree. Like, her body language just, it's off. She shouldn't be going like this. She should be going like this.
It's one of those things, she just stands there and goes like, oh no, oh no, oh no. Which is not how anyone would react.
Exactly.
So this is the writers bending any sort of common sense so that they can have their setup.
The setups suck.
They're like, okay, well, her body language wouldn't actually look this way if she was panicking because someone's dying right in front of her, but we need to make it sort of look like she might be the one force choking her. So, scrap logic. We have to have just enough vague evidence that they'll sentence her to death without a trial, because the trial is just a sham.
This is the epitome of crap writing. Logic, reason, common sense all goes out the window because plot. They can't be bothered to actually, you know,
include common sense and, you know, logic and stuff in their plot.
Writing.
No, they have to throw it out of their plot so that their plot works.
So lazy.
If you wanted to have it that it looks like Ahsoka is force choking her, it would have been better if they didn't have Letta up in the air, but like she's seated, or like she goes to her knees when she starts choking, and then just an instinctive reaction, or maybe while trying to use the force, Ahsoka puts her hands close to Letta's neck, right? Like as if she's also trying to pull off the invisible, what is choking her, right? Or she's like trying to grab the force, but like, you know, she's doing this around Letta's neck, and yeah, maybe she's obscuring the camera a bit because the camera's at a different angle now than it was before. Before it was the overhead, now it's an undershot.
Yeah, I know. What the heck is
their security camera just like films in several different angles, I guess?
Yeah, that's a good angle. Yeah. Perfect.
Either which way, like, that would then make more sense, because yes, then it would look like she's the one actually, like, choking Letta. Look at her face! Like, they don't show her face, even though they have a 3-dimensional recording, they do not show her face when she's going like this, but if you just look at it from a different angle, you will see her not going, but, oh no. And who is thinking to themselves while they're strangling someone, gotta make sure I, look worried and scared for the camera because I made sure that the sound wasn't working on this one.
Like, how did Barriss accomplish that? How did she disable the sound on the security camera?
The one? Because he says, curiously on this one. Not curiously the sound stopped working when this happened, or no, just this one. Sound isn't working. So Barriss now understands nanotechnology and how to make it into a bomb inside of someone. So she obviously knows a lot about biology too, and now she knows about how to hack into extremely secure systems in order to just turn off the sound on one's camera at the precise moment that Ahsoka went in there and Barriss must be Palpatine's understudy because she's like, how did she get caught?
Literally, if she's that smart. How?
I know that you were upset when this woman was taken into custody by the military.
That means nothing.
Excuse me? Do you have no concept of motive?
It's one thing to say, well, I didn't mean anything by that, and that means nothing, right? And she obviously, very, very, very obviously meant it.
Yeah.
Because she reiterated it twice, not just when she lost her cool in front of Tarkin, but later after a calming conversation with Barriss about moving past your emotions, she then reiterated it again. It's evidence of motive. And she's saying, oh, that means nothing. So either way you take it, whether she's trying to say, I didn't mean anything by that, or no, that's not relevant to the case at hand, both ways, she's wrong.
It's a total lie.
It's a lie.
Disgusting. And again, it's evidence of her not taking ownership of her actions, of her disgusting attitude.
And if there was someone else, why did you not sense them?
Another valid
Okay,
question.
what's with that?
I feel like they're trying to make a callback to Tarkin's interaction with Leia in A New Hope when he like grabs her face, but they somehow made it more gross.
Sorry, sir. The Admiral's orders stand.
There's literally no way Barriss could have ever gotten in here.
Yeah, if Anakin can't even get in, like... And then they have her do this little like... Oh, I'm so weak and sick from being in prison.
A key card. Master, I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Immediately assumes that it's Anakin breaking her out of jail.
And thus
Like-
acting corruptly.
Why would he plan to break you out of prison? How is that the right way to go about proving your innocence? Why would he do that?
He wouldn't.
He wouldn't. You're
He's
just thinking
stupid.
the worst about him.
This does not look good.
Oh, you don't say.
She has just broken out thinking Anakin for some reason is like, yeah, let's break you out of prison. Then she comes across a bunch of harmed clones and still hasn't found Anakin. So wouldn't someone who, cares about clones and thinks Anakin might be around somewhere, call for Anakin or be like, hey, clones, are you guys okay? What happened here? Yeah, she's breaking out of prison, but it's like, you have the decision whether you continue or stop.
So again, she only cares about appearance. She doesn't go to check on any of the clones. Her first thought is, oh, this doesn't look good.
I better get out of here.
Yeah, screw the clones. I'm a peace out. Bye. Yeah, no, you can
And
tell
it's
how
like-
much she cares.
And I thought, because I haven't watched this arc in a while, I thought these guys were dead. Like, I know they find some later that are actually dead. But if Barriss beat these guys up and then just left them, they would be like, yeah, no, I saw Ahsoka when I woke up, but Barriss kicked the crap out of us and left us unconscious.
My lightsabers.
And if Barriss is again somehow using the Force from outside, and she just, I don't know, hovered Ahsoka's lightsabers over here using the Force. Like, how is she seeing any of this? Don't you have to be able to, like, see? You can sense things without seeing them, but, like, can you, like, move things, like, open a drawer, pick out what's inside it, or then, like, Force choke someone just until they pass out, but they're not dead yet?
My lightsabers.
Oh yeah, and then she just, oh, this doesn't look good. Jog for 10 feet, slow down, just like as they're waking up around her, like it's like they're not even there. She doesn't care about, oh, this doesn't look good. Run past them, where do I go next? Oh, what are my lightsabers doing here? This is not her panicking. So many people are like, oh, she was panicking. So far we have not seen any panic. She saw a key card, was like, oh, Anakin's breaking me out of prison. Cool. Sees these guys, oh, that doesn't look good. Okay, well, oh, look, my lightsabers. She's not panicking. She never had to leave her cell. She has not spoken to anyone. She has not waited to speak to anyone. She just heard from Tarkin, yep, you done it. And then she's like, well, I gotta get out of here or I'm gonna die. Because nobody's gonna believe me. Why wouldn't they? There's literally a 3-dimensional recording that would clearly show you are not force choking Letta. And that's all they got. You know that Letta was connected to this person. You never met Letta before in your life. I think that would be decently simple to prove. You could go find recordings of, okay, where did Letta work? Was the recording equipment in the lower levels where she lived working? Did we ever see someone go visit her? You know, etc., etc., etc. And there's just so much investigation that could be done that would very quickly prove that Ahsoka was not at all involved. But no one's gonna believe me. I gotta get out of here.
By refusing to trust anyone from the Jedi Order, she's basically spitting on their integrity, saying, you would never give me a fair trial.
Yeah. What? You're just going to...
You didn't even give them a chance.
She goes from, in season 2, being like, oh, I'm very valuable to the Jedi. And now, a few seasons later, when you think she would have even more trust in them as they've proved themselves over and over again, that she'd be like, yeah, no, they got my back. But now she's just like, oh, they have flimsy evidence against me. The Jedi are just going to draw me like a rock. I don't mean anything to them. Literally just had someone be all like, I was told that you were the person to contact in the Jedi. And, you know, if ever I needed help. And then, oh, no, I'm worthless to the Jedi. They would just draw me like a rock and, you know, pin it all on me and leave me to die. So again, we're getting mixed messages. Either she's really well known as this, like, incredible Jedi who, if ever you are in danger, she's the person to contact. Or she's just a nameless, nobody, worthless Padawan. Like, which is it? Was Letta just feeding her ego when she said that? Like, what do the writers want us to think? Oh, maybe he's coming back with Rex and Rex will get him through. So he was coming and make sure that he got to speak to her. And she tells him right at the end of this episode, you didn't even try to come and help me.
Wow.
Because there's no way that if she escaped, they would call him up and be like, oh, by the way, you're Padawan now. Just wanted to let you know. You better get over here. Like, why would they do that? There's no reason for them to do that. So what that looks like to me is he's like, okay, these clones are not letting me through. I'm going to get Rex and he's going to order them to let me pass. And because he is a high-ranking officer in the Republic Army, they might let him through. At the very least, they will respect their fellow clone.
Anakin is such a great guy, and Ahsoka doesn't give him any credit.
You can't
She
help.
completely distrusts him, talks down to him, completely disrespects him. Disgusting. She only cares about herself.
She immediately jumped to the assumption that they would drop her like a rock, even Anakin. She doesn't trust him at all.
She spits on characters who are thousands of times better than her.
And that's saying a lot because, like, Anakin literally turns to the dark side and kills a bunch of people. Even before he, like, actually, like, turned to the dark side, he killed a bunch of people. And he is leagues better than her.
Yeah.
Maybe not morally, but, like, I'd say they were, like, even morally, maybe. Because, yeah, she doesn't, like, kill innocent people, but, like, she mentally and emotionally damages a whole bunch of people. That's not a question.
Emotional damage!
Emotional damage! Watch Stephen he's hilarious. No, okay, Anakin's morally worse than Ahsoka, but she's down there. She's way, way down there. So Barriss had to be there. Unless you're telling me that she also force-slashed them with her lightsabers.
This is ridiculous.
So they have recording cameras in all the cells, but not in any of the hallways. And somehow Barriss snuck in, got close enough to see everything that was going. Does she have an invisibility cloak? The only way this makes sense is if she was invisible.
Yeah.
And yeah, those clones that were knocked out, since, yeah, Barriss was obviously there. My guess is she didn't use the Force. She just beat the crap out of them and then left them alive. But they just disappeared off the face of the planet.
Witnesses are a thing, you know? Like, this is so stupid.
And it's literally like all they had to do was have her kill those clones too. But then it'd be too early for it to make sense for Ahsoka to keep running. If she saw they were dead, she would, you know, definitely stop. But if they were just beaten up to the point that they were unconscious, then she would just keep going. She sees them and just, oh, this doesn't look good. Better get out of here before I'm associated with this. Well, it's too late. You're already associated with that, and with that, and with that. And none of this would be happening if you had just stayed in your cell and waited for Anakin instead of assuming when you found a key card that he was being corrupt and breaking you out of prison instead of trying to help you by proving your innocence. Because then she's assuming that he thinks she's guilty too. That he thinks the only way out of this is to break her out rather than prove her innocence. Her accepting that key card and assuming it was from Anakin is straight up evidence that she doesn't trust him at all.
Ahsoka! It's me, Anakin.
Perfect acoustics, and nobody was hearing those clones screaming while they were being beaten up and then killed.
I guess Barriss was carrying around sound dampers with her too.
This is so stupid!
You can't help me, Master. Someone's setting me up.
Oh, he can't help you because someone is setting you up.
How does that make any sense?
How does that make any sense?
It doesn't.
You're not good enough. You can't do anything.
I believe you, Ahsoka.
But no one else will.
And
Why
then,
would you assume that?
well, like,
And
this point...
This is spitting right in the face of Plo Koon as well.
That's
because she
true.
cares a lot about Plo Koon.
Yeah, Plo
So
Koon,
naturally...
Obi-Wan, Yoda, everybody she's ever interacted with. Yeah, no, I wasn't even thinking about
in one sentence,
Plo Koon.
she just spits on all of them.
And like, on the one hand, now that she's already made more appearance of guilt, it does make sense that less people would believe her. But she already believed that no one would believe her. That's why she left. And then, yeah, you're absolutely right. She's spitting on Plo Koon, on Obi-Wan, and everybody. And she does it again later. She's like, everyone except Anakin has abandoned me. The dogs were literally 10 feet away from her.
Yeah, no, those are pretty crappy dogs.
Oh,
Oh,
now
now
they
it's-
smell her?
Come on, Grizzard. There's nothing here.
He's like,
I can't see anything from this angle. We don't know where she is, but she couldn't possibly have been there. And maybe I should let him follow her trail.
I guess this guy doesn't know how a scent dog works.
I guess not.
There she is! Quick! Come on!
And meanwhile, Grizzer's handler is like, oh, I know she was there. Oops. Maybe next time I'll actually listen to this animal that is trained to, you know, deal with these things. She should be out cold, injured, in some way hampered. Nope, perfectly fine. She literally was right beside an explosion, and she's totally fine.
All of this is just Ahsoka showboating. She's being a complete idiot, but the show's like, oh wow, look at her pulling off these stunts, she's so cool. No, she's just an idiot.
Again, what she's doing right now is being framed as the right thing to do. She's being framed as like super cool as she's running away from these people who, you know, are going to wrongfully imprison her and, you know.
Yeah, like what was that? So many unnecessary flips and jumps and blah blah blah.
How are they
and
missing?
They somehow miss her.
Again, not
No
doing
one's
anything.
shooting at her.
Suddenly
No one's
shooting
shooting
at
at
her. Stun. You have
You could have like stunned her 1,000 times by this point.
Yeah, why haven't they? They're shooting. Finally have a clear target. Not shooting. And then again, she's got another chance to stop.
Ahsoka!
Why hasn't Anakin used the Force?
And they still somehow miss her again.
Just boop her back off the pipe.
Yep.
Boop.
Yep.
Somebody stun her.
You didn't even try to come and help me.
You didn't even give him a chance. Shut up.
How can she make that statement? Oh, you weren't there within 37 seconds. You didn't even try. Because that's part of the problem, is they give us no concept of how much time elapses. At best, I would say maybe a day. But like, I don't even know if it's that much. Was she in there for weeks? Then why didn't we get some sort of like concept of how much time went by? Because if you just go boom, 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 I'm going to assume that they arrest her and then maybe a couple hours later at most, probably not that long, before Tarkin comes to see her. And then a few hours more, and then Anakin comes to try and see her, and like maybe half a day went by. Like as far as I can tell, because they give us no concept of time.
She's such an entitled brat.
And yeah, I think a day is like much, like it's probably half a day. You didn't even try to come and help me. And that's another thing. When she left Anakin, he was in a briefing. So then it's like, okay, well, assuming that he didn't hear about this, or, you know, he only just heard about it like after he left, it's going to take him time to come back.
Yeah, because he's off fighting a war. But somehow she considers herself more important.
Half a day. You didn't even try. I know the last time I saw you, you were busy with the war, but you didn't even try. And this is after she helped, like,
sits around twiddling his thumbs, ready to answer to your every beck and call.
And this is after she says, you can't help me. So first she says you can't, and then she says you didn't even try. Well, which is it? Could he help you, but he didn't try? Or can he not help you? In which case, what's the point? Why get mad at him for not trying? He can't. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah. Like, came out of your own mouth.
Which is it?
Just a thought. And then Letta asks to see Ahsoka. She gets right away. Why didn't Ahsoka ask to talk to anyone? Because she was convinced that no one could help her.
Apparently Tarkin now has this like personal grudge against a stinky Padawan. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get you now. Like, it's so petty of him. He's a big picture kind of guy. That's why he sides with Palpatine. Like, he's not a, ooh, I'm gonna get you back, you little Padawan. You snubbed me. Ooh, now look who's on top.
Filoni has zero grasp of who these characters actually are.
So stupid.
He just spits on these characters over and over and over to prop up his stupid little OC.
They wouldn't let me in to talk to you.
You could have if you tried.
And then again, like, more evidence that Ahsoka just thinks the worst of Anakin. Like, right after he says, they wouldn't let me in to talk to you, she's like, well, you could have if you tried. What do you expect him to do? Do you expect him to violently push his way in there? Right? So first you assume that he's gonna break you out of prison, then you assume if you really tried to come and help you, he would have beat up everybody in his way. You just think the worst of him. And again, not considering the big picture that, yeah, if I had beat up everybody in order to go see you, how would that look?
How would that look, Ahsoka?
It would make Ahsoka look more guilty because it would make it appear as though the two of them were in cahoots and they planned the whole terrorist bombing. And it's kind of funny because you said she expected him to come in there and beat everyone up, and that's exactly what Barriss did. So she expected him to behave the same way a terrorist did.
Forcing my way in would have made you look even more guilty.
I'm not guilty.
Again, she's like, oh, you think I'm guilty? I'm not guilty. No, he just made a statement of fact. You are making yourself look more guilty. Because you already looked guilty for something, now you're making yourself look more guilty for that thing. But she thinks, even though he's already told her, yeah, I believe you, someone's setting you up. Oh, you think I'm guilty too? I'm not guilty.
I don't know who to trust.
Me?
Again, insulting Anakin
I'm
right to his face.
Standing right here. You don't trust me? You think I'm just leading you back into prison so that they can sentence you to death for something you didn't do? That's what you think I'm doing?
Wow.
You don't think I know who to trust? You don't think I can bring in Obi-Wan or Plo Koon or talk to Yoda and like, hey, let's figure this out? You don't think I can do that? When they think everyone around me might be in on it. That's when people say that line. Sandra Bullock, the Net. She's a very secluded kind of person, right? Like she doesn't have a lot of connections. So in her case, again, I don't know who to trust because I don't know any of these people. There's one or two people in the movie that she does know, and so then she tries to go to them, but they're easily removed from the picture by the people who are after her. And at the very beginning of the movie, one person that she starts to get to know, someone she thought she knew, turns out they're not who she thought they were, right? So in those circumstances, it makes sense for a character to be like, I don't know who to trust. It makes no sense for Ahsoka to be saying this.
And the other thing is, this is supposed to be based off of The Fugitive.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that.
Harrison's character still had people he trusted. He went to them because he knew they were his friends and they'd have his back. But Ahsoka
and he had his trial before he broke out of prison.
Yeah, exactly.
He went through the proper system before being like, okay, the system has failed. I need to do this on my own. She's just like, nope, I'm gonna do this on my own. I don't trust the system at all.
I don't trust any of my supposed friends.
Make your case to the council.
I'm not going to take the fall for something I didn't do.
I cannot get over how insulting this is to Plo Koon. Throughout the show, Plo Koon was the only one she showed any genuine affection or respect for. And
he bent over backwards to, like in the Citadel arc, and he just
he
let
lied.
it slide.
He lied on her behalf.
Yeah.
Plo Koon's on the council.
Obi-Wan's on the council. Yoda's on the council. Like, people who she is close to.
And she seriously thinks that they're just out to get her.
You have to trust me now.
And again, they come back to this stupid idea that no, Anakin needs to trust Ahsoka. This is a trust issue on Anakin's part.
Yeah, because, well, the whole thing was, it takes courage to trust oneself. So I trust myself to be able to handle this. You need to trust me that I can handle this. I don't need to trust you to help me out. I need to trust myself to help me out. I want to get somebody to take that shot there and just like leave it when she's in the like, you know, like belly flop pose and just like continue that animation as strike into the shit. Can you imagine? Just like zoom out and they're like, you know, like a starfish pose. It's just like inside this like crater on the ship. Oh, I just want somebody to do it so bad.
Yes, please.
Please, it'd be so funny. I want to watch The Fugitive again because it's actually good. And I hate when people take something good and make it crap.
Yep.
Why didn't Anakin jump after her? Jump after her, pull one of the clones out and be like, okay, now, why didn't this trooper shoot at her? Oh, man. I hate everything about this arc. It's so badly done.
This show is awful. Terrible. Disgusting. See you next week. Of course.
And I'm gonna sit down and we're gonna do this thing.
Now we get to watch something that enrages us.
And justifies the means.
I was gonna say, that's another one of their wonderful morals in this show. The end justifies the means. Everything Ahsoka did is justified because, in the end, the right outcome happened. Oh, you actually want to listen to this? Personally, I'd rather go watch what my daughter's watching.
VeggieTales.
Yeah, I'd rather watch VeggieTales.
VeggieTales is a classic.
And they got great music.
That isn't at all repetitive.
I will do whatever I want with my earphones. Thank you.
Your earphones?
My earphones. I hear because of them.